Be blessed by the divine. Dear Sky intellectuals, I heartily welcome all of you to the spiritual discourse in English, which is being organized by the World Community Service Center, Aliar IT team. Divine. What a pity. A mountain peak as tiny as 1 square inch has been the source of great inspiration and misery for centuries. An anonymous Chinese poet wrote on man's obsessions with conjugal bliss. Thousands of books have been written attempting to help men and women resolve the problems arising from the endless search for marital harmony. What could possibly be said that is new? Kayakalpa Yoga is not just a philosophical treatise on the subject of spiritual transmutation, but a simple and effective method of immunity, longevity, and youthfulness. Professor Krish Eswar learned Kayakalpa Yoga from our Swamiji in 1986 and became a master in Kundalini Yoga in 1987. He has been teaching Kayakalpa Yoga for the last decade or so. In the recent past, he has been teaching Kayakalpa Yoga over the internet medium for aspiring students from across the world. He is the creator of kayakalpayoga.edu.in. Please join me in welcoming Professor Krish Eswar to walk us through his research on the biology of human body and Kayakalpa Yoga. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. The biology of human body and Kayakalpa Yoga. I seek the blessings of our Guru in presenting this little research of mine in Kayakalpa Yoga in relation to the human body. Let's take the male body as a specimen for our study today. Ordinarily, discharge of the seminal fluid completes the act of love. As soon as the fluid is spent, the body strains to replace it. The faster sperm is used, the more the body is forced to produce. Quite obviously, production of this nutritionally rich and psychically super potent substance requires an enormous amount of raw materials. Today we are going to discuss about what those raw materials are and what does a sperm or the seminal fluid contain in itself. The reproductive glands receive the raw materials from the bloodstream. As we have seen, the food gets converted into juice, juice into blood, blood into tissues, tissues into fat, fat into bone, bone into marrow, and marrow into the sexual vital fluid. As the reproductive glands receive the raw materials from the bloodstream, the blood withdraws the precious elements from every part of the body, liver, kidney, spleen, including the brain. Every organ pays heavy tribute to the glands that produce the sexual seed. Because of a single drop of semen houses such prodigious life energies, frequent loss of fluid depletes the body systems of their most precious nutrients and speeds the inevitable physical decline into old age. Retaining the seed within the body is the first step to reversing this cycle in which the male pays an unnecessarily stiff price for sexual satisfaction. Do you know that one may conservatively estimate an average male ejaculates 5,000 times in his lifetime, equal to roughly 15 liters of sexual vital fluid is ejaculated from his body. This was studied by Dr. Kinsey in early 1950s. Perhaps now it is more frequently lost than in the time of Kinsey's study. But let's assume that Kinsey is right even today. 5,000 ejaculations per lifetime means the following. Each time the semen is ejaculated from the human body, 2 to 5 cubic centimeters, 2 to 5 milliliters of semen is lost. Each drop contains 200 million to 500 million individual sperm cells. Can you imagine how much population that could produce? This is an astonishing statistic. A single male ejaculation scatters 2 to 500 million sperm cells. Cast upon 250 million female eggs, a single ejaculation could conceivably generate the entire population of a country such as United States. Multiply this figure by 5,000 ejaculations per lifetime. That could yield a numerical indication of the seminal power. The normal male ejaculates enough semen to generate 1 trillion human lives in his lifetime. In a very real sense, every man can create a stockpile of sexual energy literally more potent than the atomic bomb. If this immense reservoir of psychic energy were to be redirected towards peace and spiritual harmony, the possibilities for a peaceful existence seem unlimited, my friends. Some of you and some Western scientists may scoff at the idea that semen is an immensely powerful substance. Yet no one can deny the prodigious life potential in the seed of a single man. By gathering this life-generating force within oneself, one collects tremendous energy. The effects of conserving this energy would differ, of course, with every individual. No man or race produces the same type of energy. Each creates according to its own genius. One group develops enormous physical force, another massive resistance to disease, another clairvoyant powers, still another great longevity. But all men have the inherent ability to substantially increase their active lifespan by creatively adapting to their environment. Scientists have tried to improve upon Darwin's thesis by focusing on specific genetic impulses behind behavior that lead to increased survival of an individual's gene pool. This correctly gives a lot of evolutionary power to our sexual impulses, but ignores the process whereby sex energy is transformed into higher creative impulses of the mind and spirit. The evolved man directs his animal body and instincts with his mind and spirit. The scientists, however, think and maintain the reverse is true. They may be right, but only to the extent that man's evolution back to his original self is incomplete. Man is still bullied by his biological urges. When man is complete and has truly integrated his still clumsy body with his mind and spirit, his total freedom of spiritual being is beyond the control of biological instinct. This does not violate the physical laws of the universe, my friends. No, it simply postulates that we are beings with inherent power to cultivate our energy to a level of power where it allows us to direct our bodies freely. It is not mind over matter, as that implies a battle. It is more mind inside matter. The revelations of mind have allowed us to create nuclear bombs and even send man to the moon. So why not use mind to direct its own body, which is immediately at hand? Scientifically minded listeners of this particular presentation of mine may refuse to accept this. I can only offer proof through my own personal experience and the experience of thousands of Kayakalpa yogis in our simplified Kundalini yoga system. Yes, it is indeed possible to transmute the sexual energy into spiritual energy and remain celibate. Science may analyze the chemical constituents of seminal fluid, I agree, but it cannot account for the human seed's life genius. This is beyond instrumental measure. How can one measure a human life? Scientific explanations pale before the power of the human seed and its ability to make 6 to 7 billion human beings with creative intelligence. Theoretical physics now acknowledges it is impossible to scientifically analyze the ecstatic fact of creation. Quantum physicists have accepted the likelihood that there is no smallest particle, no physical building block upon which the cosmos is built. Only Swamiji has offered the infinitesimal energy particle, which is the basis, which is the building block upon which the entire cosmos is built. But it is yet to be recognized by our scientific friends. It is the same energy particle described as the gravitational force, described as the electromagnetic force that powers our body, powers our soul, powers our life. Therefore, Swamiji offered that our sexual energy is a field generated within the body and linked to the larger cosmic fields in ways that no scientist can presently understand. Well, you don't need to wait for another 500 years for science to come up with an explanation of human sexuality. Every man can experiment with his own sexual energy field and draw his own conclusions today. Our Kayakalpa Yoga Master has offered a simple set of explanation through self-observation and dedicated Kayakalpa Yoga to furthering human evolution. He wasn't alone. Each generation of Siddhas have tested the practices taught to them by their masters and tried to improve on it. The method of sexual energy cultivation may have evolved over the millennia, but the principle has remained the same. The sperm power is a super potent force readily available to men, awaiting only their harvest. Sexual essence is a building block for exploding our personal universe, the foundation for human love and evolution. Dear friends, modern science has given us the opportunity to study the function of sperm in the body in amazing detail. Did you know that each of the sperm cells contains 23 chromosomes, prostaglandins, ions, enzymes, trace elements, and other essential parts of human life? Only the elements of the egg and the nurturing environment of the mother are needed to form a living being of infinite potential. The seminal vesicles, two little sacs collecting sperm at the base of the bladder, are tied to the vas deferens. They produce a yellow fluid that mixes with the sperm and thickens the seminal fluid. This secretion contains the sugar, fructose, which nourishes sperm cells. The prostrate gland also contributes to the reproductive secretion. It surrounds the urethra, the main duct or the tube running the length of the urinary passage beneath the bladder. In ejaculation, the prostrate jets forth a thin, clear fluid which helps to propel the sperm. Cowper's glands along the urethra supply a few drops of alkaline secretion, which serves to neutralize acid remaining from urination. Dr. Bioin, a noted endocrinologist, stressed the importance of the hormonal function of semen production. Sexual hormones, he says in his own words, are important to our harmonious development. When men abuse the reproductive function, the secretions of the sexual glands are lost, resulting in mental and physical weakness, inability to concentrate, and a less tenacious memory. Kayakalpa Yoga is an internal exercise which helps restore imbalances in bodily chemistry. It repairs hormonal disturbances, reduces cholesterol and blood pressure levels. Sexual activity alters the body chemically. The reason this happens is because each gland in the body affects all the others. So when sex hormones are stimulated, it stimulates the hormones secreted by the other glands: adrenal, thymus, thyroid, pituitary, and pineal. The illusion when you are young is that you can stimulate your glands indefinitely without paying a price for it. Sex seems like a bottomless well of bliss. That level of ecstasy comes to you at a price of removing huge amount of biomagnetic energy from your body and vital fluid from your body. The hormones in the sexual vital fluid literally invade every sphere of your activity and form your personal identity. Recent scientific studies have shown that these hormones influence the brain's cellular organization. If you are a male, then your brain has male stamped on each cell. And this is what produces different proclivities in men and women. Dr. Gunter Dorner, director of the Institute of Experimental Endocrinology in Humboldt University in East Germany, points: the sex hormones don't just suddenly appear out of nowhere at puberty, nor do they just meander about the body. They know where to go. The cells that are their targets have already been primed in the womb to respond to the hormones that are now being produced. This is true of the body, of the reproductive organs, heart, lungs, liver, and kidneys. But it is also true of the brain. The tissues, neural circuitry, and the chemistry of the brain have already been stamped during fetal life by the sex hormones. And the foundations have already been laid for the range of behaviors that will characterize the organism as male or female in adult life. These hormonal differences obviously determine many of the qualities in men and women. This is what our Siddhas called it as Ida Pingala, The Chinese call it as yin and yang. The goal of Kundalini Yoga, the goal of Kayakalpa Yoga is total integration of Ida Pingala Nadi, or the microcosmic left side circuit and right side circuit, and achieve a wonderful balance of the Sushumna Nadi. Siddhas have written a lot about the health being powerfully affected by hormonal balance. Today, a lot of research has going into cancer research to understand how the mind and emotions control our immune system. But Kayakalpa yogis, our siddhas, would say that it is unnecessarily complicated to track each individual microcosmic hormone receptor and enzyme in the gene code to fight the hundreds of different types of cancers and diseases that result when our immune system fails. Our siddhas contend the critical factor is simply balance, that when Ida Pingala nadis are balanced in the body, each cell will have the energy to function perfectly. Swamiji called it as polarity balance. Each cell contains within itself a fine polarity balance. When this polarity is disturbed, when this balance is disturbed, hormones get disturbed. The machinery that runs smoothly gets disturbed. When this energy, the biomagnetic energy and the Ida Pingala circuit is beautifully balanced and harmoniously functioning within the body, then the machinery runs very smoothly. For this, sexual energy conservation and transformation is one of the most powerful methods to ensure that the internal equilibrium of the human energy system is powerfully maintained. In the process, no outside force can destroy its inner balance. The Kayakalpa yogis, the siddhas, thus see everything: hormones, sex, personality, health, and beyond that, our spiritual destiny linked inextricably together. That is the working of the Kayakalpa Yoga, which links the finite, ordinary world of a casual evening on a Saturday evening to the explosion of a supernova light years away. The principle of the fusion of energy in both is the same. Magnetism, magnetic energy. There it is the universal magnetic energy. Here it is the biomagnetic energy. In the Siddhas tradition, the Kayakalpa Yoga secret of secrets was the method of being reborn through a process of giving birth to our new self. When I first learnt about Kayakalpa Yoga from Swamiji, I did not really fully understand it. But much later, in studying the endocrine system, I am able to now see analogies. I realize that both men and women have the makings of male and female hormones, and that in effect they are each capable of giving birth to a new self within every day. The most important connection in the male hormone system is between the male reproductive organs and the pituitary gland located in between the eyebrows behind the forehead. These glands work together in the transformation of sexual energy. The fact that you will experience when you begin cultivating your sexual energy up through the Ojo's breathing. your reproductive gland and your pituitary gland will begin to pulsate together when the Kundalini energy is, when the spiritual energy is cultivated properly. And it is a sign that your glandular system is working harmoniously all the time. The pituitary gland in turn regulates the activities of other glands. Many of you may already know this. When they are in perfect harmony, they secrete an exceptionally fine nectar, a superfine hormonal substance undiscovered by scientists that floods the nerve centers of our brain and helps create the feeling of bliss described by so many Siddhas, including our Guru Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi. This is only one phase of spiritual development, but one that is so powerfully affected by the balance of sexual energy in the body that we cannot afford to ignore it, my friends. Kayakalpa Yoga offers all the health benefits of physical exercise. It reduces the tendency of obsessive-compulsive behavior. OCD can easily be remedied using Kayakalpa Yoga, simply because the sexual energy gets transmuted and supercharges the brain and every neuron in the brain. Whereas indulging in physical relationship strains the heart less than driving a car in city traffic or watching a good football game. Moreover, the heart rate quickly diminishes after a physical relationship. For someone on the verge of a heart attack, passionate physical relationship with one's own wife may be sufficient to trigger that massive heart attack waiting to happen. Therefore, physical relationship is not recommended for such people. Kayakalpa Yoga is a natural great antidote to stress. Emotional stress especially causes untold harm, as it is a continuous injury to every cell. Life in our modern urban city-like society subjects us to increasing doses of this potent poison. Distress directly causes cardiovascular degeneration such as arteriosclerosis and hypertension. Kayakalpa Yoga restores impaired body chemistry by activating the hormonal centers to defend the physical body and by harmonizing our mental and spiritual faculties. With frequent wastage of seminal fluid, the benefits of indulging in physical relationship begins to rapidly decline and our vitality ultimately plummets. The sexual big spender loses stamina. Such a person loses stamina. His vision begins to weaken. Hair tumbles from his skull. He grows old before his time. The physical damage caused by expelling this vital fluid from the body is greatly alleviated only through the powerful practice of Kayakalpa Yoga. Kayakalpa Yoga is perhaps the only true, simple yet powerful method for someone in the family life, someone who is married, to successfully practice Siddha systems, yogic systems, to realize themselves without sacrificing their normal family life. As we become old, with aging, all our bodily systems become less efficient. Among these is the hormonal system, which regulates most important biomagnetic reaction and circulation. If hormonal secretion declines from optimal levels, the body must necessarily weaken. The relations between the hormones, sexuality, and aging have not yet been fully elucidated. However, many researchers in the vanguard of medical science feel that the hormones regulating growth and sexual development play a crucial role in aging. These are produced in the pituitary, thyroid, and gonads. The sexual gland has a double function. For a man, besides being the factory for the sperm, they also produce male hormones, among which is testosterone. The Sertoli cells in the testes produce another hormone, inhibin. When not ejaculated, these hormones go into the bloodstream and are carried to every part of the body. Much evidence points to the link between Kayakalpa yoga and the retardation of aging. Kayakalpa yoga stimulates high quality hormonal secretion. The presence of these hormones in the blood appears to slow the aging process, the scientists are now revealing. With Kayakalpa yoga, with sexual energy cultivation in spiritual form, one produces unusually potent hormones because one focuses energy directly on the endocrine glands, stimulating them to much greater levels of activity. Because the hormonal energy is constantly circulated within the body instead of being wasted and ejaculated, a successful student, a successful practitioner of Kayakalpa yoga finds himself with ever increasing amount of energy as he grows older. This increased circulation of sexual energy also redistributes the Kundalini energy within the body's storage system. Thereby, the biomagnetic energy in each cell within the body is also intensified. As long as we have high quality and high intensity biomagnetic energy within each and every cell throughout the body, we will remain young, we will remain youthful, and we will not age, we will not look old, and therefore the chances of us dying soon is minimal. As we grow older and our life force is depleted, our body cavities increase in size and are gradually filled with fat or various kinds of pollution that speed the aging process and lower the quality of our final years. The Kayakalpa yoga method draws sexual energy up from the reproductive system and fills the spinal and cranial cavities with Kundalini power, biomagnetic energy, spiritual energy. When full, this overflows and begins to fill the chest and abdominal cavities with regenerating life force. These reservoirs of life force within the body supply the raw material used to make the body virtually impervious to disease in the method known only by our Guru Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi and to the ancient Siddhas. This is what is perhaps the world calls as inner alchemy, or the elixir of immortality, or the pill of immortality. This is storing the body's life force and then returning it to its source. The life energy is moved from these reservoirs within the body cavities into the deepest centers of the brain and bones. The secret of packing this life energy into the bone marrow is well known to highly achieved masters of the Siddhas in the olden days. Now our Swamiji has discovered it and revealed that secret to us. The Siddhas knew that muscle power cannot survive the aging process, but that bones survive for thousands of years. So therefore, with Kayakalpa Yoga, we must intensify the quality of biomagnetic energy reserved in the reservoir called bones. That means we must be able to intensify the biomagnetic energy in the marrow that runs within the bones. Recent scientific studies show the importance of bone marrow in the production of disease-fighting white blood cells. These scientists will eventually catch up with the ancient Siddha secret of Kayakalpa Yoga and figure out the full connection between transmuting the sexual energy, hormones, and bone marrow and prevention of aging and disease. We have spoken about disease, we have spoken about immunity, we have spoken about aging, we have spoken about anti-aging and youthfulness. Let us speak a few minutes about death and sex in the natural world. Nature perpetuates its species through sexual activity. In the male seed, she concentrates the parent's essential elements. The theme of parental sacrifice for the offering is repeated in all life forms, from amoeba to walrus, praying mantis to orchid. One may readily glimpse the death in generation by considering the emperor moth's brief span. This large moth travels many leagues across the countryside in quest of his female. The famous principle of the struggle for life is here the struggle to give life, the struggle to die. Although they can live 3 days in quest of the female, they perish as soon as the fertilization is complete. Plants too are subject to these laws. After a plant goes to seed or bear fruits, it dies or enters into a period of dormancy. A banana plant, for instance, is a great example of how the plant dies after it fruits. Gardeners know that a plant prevented from going to seed outlives its most precocious brothers. Most fruit-bearing trees do not produce fruit until they are 5 to 10 years old. During this period, they devote their entire biological force to the growth and strengthening of tissue. What should we do? Shouldn't we follow the natural order in this world? Later in their life, plants split their vital force between reproduction and tissue maintenance. When they grow old, they need all their remaining energies for survival. They withdraw power from the sexual sphere and bear no more. Some male insects may increase their lifespan several fold simply by not spending their seed at all. One may object that an insect's sex life has no relevance to ours. Yet the insects excel brilliantly in sexual invention and effectiveness. They comprise more than half of the total animal weight on earth. Insects work the web of marital life with particular intensity. Their power to impose their definition of life is manifest in their numbers, gigantic age, and the breadth of habitat, garb, and custom. In all forms of life, the reproductive act exhausts essential energies. The offspring consume bodily stores of nutrition to get a grip of their new life. Vital organs suffer the most depletion because they contain the densest concentration of nutrients. Among humans, The female sacrifice of her bodily energy is unavoidable in the passage of birth. The male, likewise, must surrender the potency of a seed at least once to fertilize the female ovum. Nature warrants the sacrifice worthwhile, for it fulfills her goal of multiplying life. She intends the old to make way for the new. But amongst all material creatures, only man has the force of will to oppose Mother Nature, not distance, not the difficulty of journey, not the danger of approach foils instinct in the animal kingdom. In man, who sometimes has the force to escape the sexual commandments, disobedience may have fortunate results. Chastity in a human being can function like a transformer, changing unused sexual energy into intellectual or social or spiritual energy. Among animals, this transformation of physiological values is impossible. It is the very possibility of transforming our instinctual and essentially animal sexual energies into something higher that makes us human and potentially divine. The failure to direct our sexual energy upwards through the upward breathing of Osho's breathing is a failure to fulfill our deepest human potential. That is why our Swamiji said that unconscious physical pleasure and wastage of the male seed is a kind of mini death seen so often in the plant and animal kingdoms. 200 to 500 million sperms die upon a single wastage. This expenditure of subtle energy is even much greater than these huge numbers suggest. If this spent seed leads to any kind of rebirth in the man or in the woman receiving new life, this loss or death is in harmony with nature. But without transforming these mini deaths into a sharing, a love, a child, or a higher awareness of some sort, this physical act of relationship becomes a mere killing of the potential life energy stored in the seed. Perhaps that is the connection between sex and violence. Those radically opposed to abortion and contraception might as well begin their campaign against men who kill their potential life force by ejaculating needlessly. Man has fallen to his current weakened psychic state in large part because he has squandered his sexual energy over the last several years. Man is capable of a much higher existence than what he now accepts. Human beings must begin to regain the lost paradise which still exists within every man and woman, their original nature. Kayakalpa Yoga offers you a way to move forward and evolve as a spiritual being. Animals engage in physical relationship for reproductive purposes only. The female receives the male only at definite mating periods that overall comprise a very small part of the animal's lifespan. It is clear that sexuality plays a different role for human than it does for animals, and it is critical that men and women become educated as to the possibility of physical sexual energy can play in their own evolution and thus affect the balance of nature as well. Dear friends, I hope this little presentation of mine has opened your eyes into a whole new world that awaits within you. Learn Kayakalpa Yoga Transmute your sexual energy into spiritual energy. Live without disease. Live with immunity. Live youthfully. Fight aging and live long. Postpone death to suit your wishes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Be blessed by the divine. Our Guru, Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi, a qualified physician of indigenous medicine, has developed Kayakalpa Yoga as a complete science which integrates physics, biology, physiology, philosophy, genetics, and yoga. Such a beautiful technique or philosophy of Kayakalpa Yoga delineates the manner in which the human being can be enhanced by proper integration of physical, body, mind, biomagnetism, life force, and the sexual vital fluid. Our professor Krish Murali Eswar sir has beautifully and scientifically explained the biology of human body and Kayakalpa Yoga. Such a wonderful technique is being explained by our professor. We convey our heartfelt thanks to you, sir. On behalf of all the listeners, we thank you very much for your wonderful and inspiring speech. Now, the Sky Meditators, the forum is open for the discussion questions. Please click on the raise hand button in your Zoom app to raise your questions to our professor. While you prepare for your questions, we have a couple of important announcements to make. Please emphasize all your near and dear ones to learn and practice Kayakalpa Yoga. You can easily learn Kayakalpa Yoga from your home by visiting the website kayakalpayoga.edu.in or by downloading the Android application. Our monthly journal Anboli is also available in the Android app. Get access to the premium content of our Guru Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi's speeches at a nominal subscription. Connect with us on Facebook and YouTube at Sky Yoga TV to listen to all the past speeches of our beloved professors for free. Karma Yoga principles of Vedatrium suggest donating 1% of the income to the good causes of the society. As some of you are aware, these donations are not expenditures, but they are investments. You get more than what you pay as good karma. We invite you to donate to the World Community Service Center either through the Unboli app or through our official website, that is vedatri.edu.in. Section 80G exemptions are available for these donations. Now we will start the question and answer session. We request the participants to stick to the question directly to our professor. Valga Valam. Yamuna, you can ask your question, ma'am. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening, sir.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Good evening.
And this is Yamuna from Arcad, sir. You are awakened my eyes, sir. That explanation is very, very clarity, sir, about the endocrinology and the immune system, and the explanation about that seminal fluid you told, that is very, very awesome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much to Divine Power, and thank you very much you, sir, for giving these awesome words. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Valga Valam. Mariappan sir, you can ask your question. Mariappan sir, please unmute by yourself.
Yeah, வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். His connectivity is very poor. Can we go to the next person, please?
Yes, sir. Dr. G. Meenakshi, you can ask your question, ma'am. Meenakshi ma'am, we request you to unmute yourself.
Yes. வாழ்க வளமுடன் சார்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
My family friend's son married 7 years. He has no child. Is that possible to help of Kayakalpa for childbirth?
If the problem is related to low sperm count, then it is possible. The prostate must be healthy. If there is a defect in the prostate and it has become non-functional, then it is very difficult for him to revive it. Please consult a doctor, and if the problem is only mere low sperm count, then even Ashwini Mudra in Ojo's, instead of Ojo's breathing, only Ashwini Mudra in Kayakalpa Yoga is more than sufficient to increase the sperm count, and he can certainly get a child.
Be blessed. Ramesh Kumar, you can ask your question.
Please give instructions to unmute themselves each time.
Yes, sir. Ramesh Kumar, sir, you can ask your question, sir.
Next, please.
Sundar, sir, please unmute by yourself, sir.
Good evening, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Sir, when we do the Kayakalpa yoga, I feel the life force, more life force in Agna and Duriya Chakra. Is there any connectivity with those two things?
That is what I said today. Definitely that the transmutation happens and there is a significant connection of circuitry between the sexual gland and the pituitary gland, which is your Agna chakra. So certainly you will feel a lot better and more intense in your life force at the Agna chakra and even the Duriya chakra. Very natural.
Be blessed. Girija Shankar, please unmute yourself and ask your question, ma'am.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் sir. Good evening.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Good evening.
It's a very wonderful speech. And you slapped all the human being by this your speech. My question, actually after the age means 80 years also this Kayakalpa will effective.
See, the man's life can be split into 3 ages. The young age 0 to 40, middle age 41 to 80, old age 81 to 120. The vital fluid production is the highest in the youth. After 14, it is the highest till 40. And then it diminishes in intensity from 41 to 80. In fact, from 60 onwards, the diminishing is much faster. From 80, there is absolutely no new production or even very minimum production of the sexual vital fluid. The food gets transformed into juice into blood into tissue into fat into bone into marrow into vital fluid. So the transformation into the 7 dhatus pretty much stops after 80. So Kayakalpa Yoga is highly beneficial for people up to the age of 80, sir.
Be blessed. Gopi Krishna, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Sir, good evening. Your talk was very informative. And I have 3 doubts, sir. The first thing is, in Kayakalpa is in what way it is benefit to escape from COVID-19, and also in what way the pregnant woman can use the Kayakalpas.
Third question.
Third question is, in what way it is decrease the stress, sir?
COVID-19 is application of Kayakalpa Yoga for COVID-19 has not yet been proven by any research. So I have absolutely no comment to make except the fact that COVID-19 is the 7th or the 8th strain of coronavirus. Please understand, coronavirus is even common cough and cold giving virus is coronavirus only. COVID-19 is a strain, is another strain, a new form of coronavirus. Otherwise, the coronavirus is a family of viruses. For other strains of coronavirus, especially the common cough and cold, we have seen Kayakalpa Yoga giving excellent results. In fact, prevention of regular allergic reaction or asthmatic attack, these can also be triggered because of viral infection in the chest or in the throat or in the esophageal region or in the nasal region. All of this can be reversed and, more importantly, prevented with a regular practice of Kayakalpa Yoga. But COVID 19, I have no idea, sir. No research has been done, so I cannot comment on it. But going by the simple logic of how immunity works in the body, I suspect or I even believe that Kayakalpa Yoga could be a good prevention system for COVID 19. Second question is about pregnancy. Oju's breathing must not be practiced by pregnant women. This may have been already taught to you in your Kayakalpa Yoga classes in your local Sky Yoga center by the professors. You can certainly do on a regular basis any number of times Ashwini Mudra. It's extremely beneficial. My wife delivered 3 children, all natural birth. My daughter recently delivered about 8 months ago a son, a natural birth. My sisters delivered natural children, natural birth, delivery. I've seen so many people in my own family and in our Sky Yoga family, thousands of pregnant mothers delivering excellent, healthy children through natural delivery methods. And their recovery from such a delivery is also fairly quick and fast through the use of regular practice of Ashwini Mudra. Third question is stress. Now, stress is a natural biological response for a range of conditions, triggers. For instance, fear of cockroach, for instance, can trigger stress because the several part of the brain produces different kinds of enzymes, different kinds of hormones, chemicals that trigger various kind of reactions in the body. For instance, cortisol production increases the stress response, the flight or pretend dead kind of a fight or even fight response. The animal instinctive survival response is because of this cortisol production. But if the production is more and if it is quite often, then it can lead to unwanted, distressful kind of symptoms in the body, such as palpitations, breathing response, increase in the temperature of your breathing, blood pressure, blood circulation, acidity, and therefore other complications in the body, etc., may happen. That can also be combined with various mind or mental responses such as anger or worry or depression, etc. For all of this, practicing Kayakalpa Yoga on a regular basis supercharges the brain and reduces the production of cortisol and increases the production to a favorable level of dopamine, melatonin, serotonin. I like to call these three concoctions the heavenly nectar, like amurdam, like amrit that gets produced in the human brain. And this amrit is clearly the nectar that gives you the antidote for distress. For instance, when you go to sleep, happy chemicals are produced, and therefore you are able to peacefully go to sleep. And reduction in cortisol production is also seen during times when you're about to go to sleep. So these chemicals are also easily produced, favorably produced using regular practice of Kayakalpa Yoga. Long answer because you asked 3 questions. I had to give you all the answers for 3 questions. Thank you. All.
Thank, thank you, sir. Be blessed by the divine. G8 Think, you can ask your question. Please unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, madam.
Please identify yourself. G8 Think you cannot be your name, correct?
Yeah. My name is Veni. I am from Tirupattur.
Okay. Please put your name in the Zoom connection next time
Okay,
before
okay,
logging in.
okay, okay.
Thank you. Go ahead,
Okay.
ask your question.
So a large number of human being or the population still they are unaware of this Magrishi or the Kayakalpam, and how do they get the energy or retain their energy or increase their energy without knowing how to perform the Kayakalpam? First question. The second thing, suppose if we are regular in practicing the Kayakalpa, can we?
You have muted yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Suppose in the Tavam, I mean, in the Mandram, they say, without the help of Guru, we cannot learn Kayakalpa, the practice of Kayakalpa. Is it possible by the Sky Yoga or from others? Can they learn it without Guru?
Okay, 2 questions, that's all?
Yeah.
Okay. So how to practice Kayakalpa Yoga without knowing Kayakalpa Yoga? How can you do that? How can you learn to walk when you don't know how to walk? Not possible. You have to learn it and then you have to practice. So it is not possible for the whole world to just practice it one fine day. They have to find a center nearby and time will come. Don't be in a great hurry. Time is a characteristic of the primordial force. God knows, the Almighty force knows when is the correct time for us to go and spread this knowledge to every human being in the world. 20 years ago, the speech that I gave today would have been impossible to give. Okay, I would have collected enough stones to build a house. That much of stones would have been thrown at me had I spoken the same topic in such openness 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. Today it is possible. People are open and people are willing to accept and appreciate it, and they're thinking that I'm saying this for the benefit of humanity. And there is a gentleman who said it's a very nice slap I gave across the men folks of the world. I did not intend it to be a slap across. I was just presenting the facts as I see it, as I saw it, as I researched and as I understood it. So people are beginning to be open enough to learn this, and people will be more and more open enough. People are searching for it. We are using various medium, including the internet medium, to reach out to the world, especially the English speaking world, across the world. People from Africa are learning from me. People from South America are learning from me. Europe are learning from me. People from Asia, Japan, or even Peru, people are learning from the Australia are learning from me, New Zealand are learning from us. So it'll take time. So let's be patient about it. So your second question is, can you learn Kayakalpa Yoga without a guru? No, not possible, because this is a product of our Swamiji's 50 years of research, and he has given it as an asset for the World Community Service Center. So the World Community Service Center owns this method. So it is only correct to learn this from a Sky Yoga Guru. Thank you.
Be blessed. The name with Galaxy, you can ask your question. Please unmute yourself.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste. Your name, please.
Sir, my name is Krishnamurthy. I am from Bangalore. I regularly watch your YouTube videos. I'm really, impressed by the way, which you talk about it. Sir, this I've been listening to you about this Kayakalpa Yoga from quite some time. Still, I haven't learned about this. But I practice this Kundalini by Shakti Path, Diksha I have got. And I've been doing it. I just would like to know from you, this Kayakalpa Yoga, will it potentiate the effort that I put for this Shakti Path, that what I have, that which I've been practicing? And or this Kayakalpa Yoga is totally independent from what I'm doing right now?
First of all, I have no idea what is this Shaktipat system, so I cannot comment
Hello.
on the system that you are. I cannot comment on your Shaktipat system. I hope that is clear. So I will not be able to comment on that. But in our system, we have a simplified Kundalini Yoga method where we awaken the Kundalini of the aspirant with a simple touch. It is safe It is simple, easy to learn, has no side effects, no dangers associated with Kundalini Yoga. Many people from the Shaktipat system come to us for learning Shanti Yoga, which is a very unique system of bringing the life energy back to the Muladhara chakra, root chakra. And that system is, as far as I know, is predominantly available only in the Sky Yoga system. Perhaps also available in other systems. I'm not aware of it. But certainly the asset, what makes our system a simplified or a safe, easy, safe Kundalini system is because of the practice of Shanti meditation. So that is one part of the question that I would like to answer. The other part is Kundalini Yoga and Kayakalpa Yoga are complementary to each other. Practicing Kayakalpa Yoga on a regular basis certainly intensifies and strengthens your Kundalini Shakti, especially at the Agna Chakra and the Sahasrara Chakra. But I do not recommend that you do this along with your Shaktipat system. We recommend that kindly reach out to a Sky Yoga center. I live in Bangalore. You can come to our center. There are very many centers in Bangalore. You can go to any center that you wish and learn both the Sky Yoga system and the Kayakalpa Yoga system. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jai Kumar, you can ask your question. Please unmute by yourself. Okay, we'll go to Girija Shankar. Please unmute yourself and ask your question, ma'am.
Sir, again I am coming. Sir, on 24th last month, you have given the speech on smoking. Here is how it destroys your health and Kundalini Shakti by Krish, by you. It's not actually uploaded. The last 5 times I asked, still I am not getting it. Please, would you mind to get me that by somehow?
Sir, it is available in my podcast channel. If you know my podcast channel, you can go and certainly see it there. I will show you the link right now for you to go if you would like to go there. It is a very simple system. It's available right. I think you can now see the screen that I have just now shared. This is the URL podcast.krishmurliishwar.com. This is the episode that has been published on the 2nd of June in 2020. And this is the episode that I have just given today. This has also been published just now. This is also available in YouTube. You can watch all of these, sir. Thank you.
Dr. K. Mahendra Babu, sir, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Be blessed by the divine.
Thank
you, Professor, for your nice talk. Sir, I have a doubt. Diabetics, regarding diabetics, so many people are affected. So, is there any permanent cure for diabetics through doing Kayakalpa Yoga?
Type 2 or type 1?
Both, sir. Type 2, mostly type 2.
Type 2 is 99% of the cases is curable. Reversible is the correct word. Curable is not the correct word. The prostrate can be, not prostrate, your pancreas can be reversed to its full working condition within 2 years if you follow Kayakalpa Yoga and whole food plant-based diet. Sampurna Satyagara. You go and research on whole food, WHOLEFOOD, plant-based diet. If you follow that, certainly diabetics can be reversed and your pancreas can function with extremely good full capacity, and you can get rid of your insulin dependency or any other chemical dependency that you have.
Mariappan, sir, you can ask your question. Please unmute yourself. Mariappan, sir, please go ahead, sir.
ஐயா ஐயா வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
ஐயா வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Go
அந்த
ahead, sir.
குழந்தையின்மைக்கு காரணம் வேண்டும். ஐயா ஐயா வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Sir, I understood your question, sir. Why are there childlessness? You are talking about childlessness. குழந்தையின்மை பத்தி கேக்குறீங்க, இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லலாமா?
தாராளமா சொல்லலாம்.
Okay. So there are many reasons why there is childlessness or there is incapacity to bear a child. There could be complications in the prostate. There could be complication in the semen production, in the seed production in the male, or in the egg production in the female, or there could be a problem in the vaginal passage. There could be a problem in the womb. There could be a problem in the hormone. There could be any number of problems. It is not a very simple, straightforward answer like A is not there, therefore B is the result. It is not A equal to B kind of an equation with childlessness. But we know that the sperm count can certainly be increased with regular practice of Ashwini Mudra. And if there is a prostate related problem, then that can easily be recovered to a large extent with a male deer practice. Many of our Sky professors may know, otherwise contact me if you have a prostate related problem. This was taught by Swamiji, but it has later not been taught regularly by Sky centers. Many professors may not know this, but on medical condition, certainly this can be taught. Similarly, female deer practice is also something that increases the blood circulation in the female reproductive system, and that can increase the chance of the lady recovering fully from her possible illness or possible physical condition that is stopping her from getting pregnant. So these two practices are highly useful. If there is, of course, any kind of nervous weakness, and if there is a vitality problem in both men and women, that can also be corrected to some extent. May not be 100% cured, but to some extent can be corrected with the help of both the toning up of the nerves practice, the Ashwini Mudra, and the recirculation of the vital fluid, Vojos breathing.
Thank you, sir, for answering our questions and sharing your divine insights with us. Dear Sky meditators, let us all put our minds together to bless and thank our professor. Please come to meditative state by focusing your mind on the Durya Chakra. Professor Krish Murali Eswar, be blessed by the divine. His good health, be blessed by the divine. His loving family, be blessed by the divine. May his knowledge and divine service spread to the entire humanity, be blessed by the divine. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us tonight. Please keep enlightening us with such more valuable and interesting topics. Thank you, sir. Giving is not just about making a donation, it is about asking a difference, and giving is the greatest act of grace. We would like to extend our heartfelt blessings to the following Sky meditators for their generous donations made on 7th June 2020, Sunday. Navanithanathan A.K., Radhakrishnan G., Tyagarajan P., Mohandas R., Sri Ranjani. Thank you so much for making your donations through our website, vedatri.edu.in. And Tirusha Shanmugam, Gandhi, Vijay, M. Rajesh, Vijay Lakshmi Murthy. Thank you so much for making your donations through our Unboli app. We greatly appreciate for your kindness and utmost generosity. By the grace of the divine bliss, may you and your family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, peace, prosperity, fame and wisdom. Be blessed by the divine. Valga Valamudan. We are happy to bring online programs live from the Aliyar Temple of Consciousness tomorrow, 9th June 2020, Tuesday. Morning at 6 a.m. we have exercises in Tamil, At 7 a.m., we have 9 center meditation in Tamil. At 7:30 a.m., we have 9 center meditation in English. By 11 a.m., we have speech in Tamil on the topic Karumayum by Professor Kala Asai Thambi from Chennai. Evening, 6 p.m., we have Duryadida meditation in Tamil. 7:30 p.m., we have Duryadida meditation in English. 7:55 p.m., we have speech in English on the topic Greatness of Womanhood by Senior Professor Satyamurthy Sir from Bangalore. Please share this invite with your friends and relatives. Let everyone take part in this spiritual journey. We thank our beloved President Padma Shri Arunidhi S.K. Mailanandan Sir for his leadership and guidance and support. See you all tomorrow with another interesting session. This is Jamuna Mani from the World Community Service Center, Aliyar IT team. Valga Valamudan. Good night.